Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Edmo Show. Happy belated Valentine's Day. Happy belated side chick day. Happy belated single mom take your son out because you ain't got no man at home day. Yes, what is going on? So, I would like to thank you guys back. We're going to switch things up a little bit this week. What we are going to do is, since this is the week of love, because we had Valentine's Day on Monday and all types of other stuff, we are going to get into this whole dating situation. We ain't going to talk about nothing on the news. We ain't going to talk about nothing in pop culture. We are only going to talk, well, you could probably say it's going to be in pop culture, but we're going to talk about relationships. And if you guys didn't see the title of today's episode is demonic dating, and we'll get into it. No, we're not really going to be all biblical up in here, but I will be referencing the Bible a few times. So, but before we get into anything, let's get to our first sponsor. As an American citizen, we have this thing called the Constitution. And within that Constitution, we have what is called the Second Amendment, which acknowledges your right to keep and bear arms. If you live in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area and you want to learn from the professionals, contact my friends over at FTI. That's Firearms Training Incorporated, where you will get basic safety, marksmanship training, concealed carry training, certifications and recertifications, stop the bleed, and much more. Just go to ftigun.com and schedule a class today. You know what? Excuse me. Let me close my window. Yes, sorry. Sorry. I had to close the window because I'm getting feedback, and it's such a beautiful day in bipolar ass DMV where it's 20 degrees one day, 50 degrees the next. So, oh, and if you guys did not notice, yes, we got Edmo show hoodies in. Oh, yes. Fresh off the press, freshly printed, newly minted. The only body that's been in this has been mine. Yes. And of course, that to go along with the Edmo show coffee mugs. Ooh, let's take. Oh, black coffee never tasted so good. Mm. So, yes, if you want one of these beautiful, fine drinking receptacles, or you want a nice, comfy, cozy, yet warm Edmo Show hoodie, please go over to our Teespring store today and pick up yours. So, let's get into it. So, of course, Valentine's Day, the day of love, the day where babies are consummated, the day that baby mamas and side chicks are constipated. Oh, yes, I love this week. So me and my wife, we decided to go out to Eddie V's. It's the first time we've ever been there. Me and my wife, we like to go out to fine dining restaurants every once in a while. That's just our thing. Um, One thing that I noticed, and trust me, today's all going to be anecdotal and all types of other stuff. But if you guys want to comment in and get involved in the show, you guys can. For those of you watching on Instagram, you guys can just drop a comment below. For those of you watching on YouTube, just drop a comment. I'll see them, and I'll answer them as I see them. So one thing that I noticed when the wife and I were at Eddie V's on Valentine's Day was there was a lot of, now of course there were a lot of couples and stuff like that, but there were a lot of single moms going on dates with their kids or going on double dates with their girlfriends and their kids. Oh man. Now, of course, there were some attractive women, but behind every attractive single mom, there's definitely a story. I just it is what it is. But the reason why I titled this episode called Demonic Dating is because I've been hearing this thing called the 666 package or the rule of sixes. Women are out here, and I'm not only going to talk about women, I'm going to talk about men as well. Women are out here, and I've heard it on what's the show me and my wife are watching? Ready to Love. She one of the dudes says, I got the six package. I'm 6 feet, six pack, and six figures. But I've also heard another one that was 6 feet, six figures, 6 inches. Now, that is the main reason why I'm calling this episode Demonic Dating, because people are going out here, they're not even looking for longevity. They're not looking for dating. They're not looking for anything very fruitful. They're looking for a good time. They're looking for they're looking for a good time, but not a long time. And I'm no exception. Before I met the missus and before I started taking dating seriously, of course, I was divorced. So I had my fair share. After being divorced, I'm like, look, you know what? I told my wife, my current wife, I told her this, the missus. I told her when we started dating, I was like, look, man, I'm not into this whole dating thing. I don't really plan on getting married. I'm going through a divorce right now. Because I remember when she asked me, like, do you want to get married? I said, fuck no, I don't want to get married. Hell no, I do not want to get married. Are you crazy? I don't want. But then that was the immature and the immaturity and the fear talking. Because, and that's not to say that, my ex-wife is a horrible person and all that stuff. She's a very good person. It's just, we were very immature at the time, and especially me. I'm not going to talk about her. I'm going to talk about me. I had a lot of issues that I did not understand that I had. Of course, I didn't really think about counseling and all types of other stuff. And of course, when you're in the military, you're there's not a lot of good there's not a lot of good information when it comes to marriage, dating, relationships, and stuff like that. They just tell you don't do it. If the Marine Corps wanted you to have a wife, they'll issue one to you. And of course, when you're young and you're interacting with other young people, this is the first time away from home. A lot of people marry their high school sweetheart and stuff like that. They're going through growing pains, they're going through infidelity, they're going through issues and stuff like that. It tends to leak onto into your relationship and your marriage. That happened in mine. A lot of negativity leaked over into my household to where now I got this woman who spends majority of her time alone because I'm always at work. Now she's thinking I'm out here cheating. Then of course I start getting an attitude because you got an attitude. Next thing you know, we're blowing up at each other, and then it's I hate you. You're scum of the earth, and just all it's not good. It's not good. So but in that, and being trapped in that negative cycle, and then coming home and then getting the whole I told you not to do that, I told you this, I told you that, all the negativity and stuff, you really start to, you're not looking at marriage, you're just looking at someone just to dating becomes recreational, and thankfully, my wife was very intentional. She told me straight up, she's like, look, I'm looking to get married. I'm not looking to date out here for fun. I'm not looking to do this, do that. I'm like, okay, okay. And that made me kind of, I had to get myself straight. I had to get myself together because, my wife was very intentional, but but before meeting my wife, I was going out on dates. Of course, I had a bad, well, I don't want to say a bad marriage, but I had a broken marriage, in my, so, I just didn't really know how to comprehend, all that stuff. And especially I was 24 going on 25, and it's like, damn, at 24 you've already been through this. You like, god damn. Luckily, my wife, one of her standards was, I'm not dating men with kids. And especially after my experiences, I'm like, I'm no longer messing with women with kids. It's I don't have any kids, why should I? I'm out here getting on my feet. But at the same time, I wasn't intentional. I was just thinking, okay, I'm gonna date. If I like you, then maybe, then we'll see where it goes. I was a see where it goes type of guy. I wasn't really intentional at all, until my wife, until her and I started dating and I started seeing how she was moving. Because my ideas of things, my way of thinking then was, damn, I just got out of the military. I'm back home. I'm back on my dad's couch. I need to figure out how to put money in my pocket. I need to figure out how to get back on my feet. I need to figure X, Y, and Z out. And then women were just purely recreational, instead of just focusing on me, getting the help and the counseling and the therapy and stuff that I needed, which uh, the environment that I went back to was not favorable to therapy. They're like, "Look, are you hurt? Are you broken? Are you, can you wake up every day? Then are you addicted to anything? No, you don't need counseling." But surely enough, I did. I needed counseling. I needed a lot of help. I needed a lot of therapy, and my wife pretty much made me go back. This is before we got married. She pretty much made me go back because my only experience to counseling was marital counseling when I was in the military, and that was, oh my god, that was so terrible. For those of you that are in the military, please do. I understand it's free. I understand it's a service that is provided to you. Do not go to the marriage counselors on base. I'm telling you, you're only going to break up. I'm just saying that. If you care about your significant other at all, do not go to counseling on base. You need to go outside of base. You need to go away. You need to go research actual professionals. And trust me, there's bad professionals out there outside the military, but literally, like, let's just say my marriage counseling landed me in anger management, which I was like, what? How did that, like, I'm sitting in there with people who actually abuse their wives or abuse their kids, and I'm just like, it literally felt like like prison. Like, what you in for? I smacked my wife. What you in for? Oh, I beat up my kids. Oh, what you in for? Oh, me and my wife, we just got into an argument and we just started yelling at each other. Yeah, he don't need to be here. Like, to me, that is just, that was crazy. So, so 666. I'm gonna start with ladies first. So I've been hearing this thing about 6 figures, 6 feet, 6 inches, or six pack, interchangeable, or the 4 6s. I don't care. To me, there's a lot of women out here that are looking for those things. And I can, maybe the way that I'm thinking about things is a little bit differently, thanks to the Bible, thanks to probably age and experience. Probably now that I'm more self-aware, maybe it's because I'm in a secure, safe relationship, to where I can kind of watch now. I'm not so worried about myself. I'm not in survival mode. I'm just, you know, I'm good. So now maybe I'm just watching these things. And, of course, I have, female coworkers, female friends, female relatives, women around me. I have young women in my family that are coming up, that are entering this adult phase of life. And, and especially watching like Kevin Samuels, Pink Book Lessons, all types of other stuff, O'Shea Duke Jackson, a whole bunch of people. One thing that I've been noticing is women are very hypergamous, and I talked about this on Monday's episode with the Tinder swindler. Women are very hypergamous, and is it a bad thing? No, it's not. It's only bad when it gets detached from reality. You know, Women being hypergamous is a survival mechanism, because of course, women need a man that can provide for them. Women need a man, emphasis on need. You need a man, especially when you are bringing a child into this world. Don't ever let these feminists, and these pseudo feminists get you out here thinking, and the reason why I say pseudo feminists is because there's these women out here that are saying that they're not feminists, but they spit all the things, all the venom that feminists talk about. There's a lot of women out here that have been groomed in feminism, where their train of thought is feminism, and they just don't like the word, even though they're programmed feminists. So these feminists and these programmed feminists out here are saying, women don't need men. Yes, you do. I don't care how old you are. You need a man. You need a man to bring a child in this world. You need a man to handle all the heavy things in your world. You need a man. This society would not be what it is without men. Don't get it twisted. Just because you got a female vice president, just because you got a female CEO in your company, just because you got a female director, you need a man. I don't give a who told you. You need a man, especially in your own personal lives. Women will sit there and say they don't need men, but then they'll groom their sons to be their son husbands. So if a woman is out here saying that she doesn't need a man, but she's grooming her son and treating him like a boyfriend, she needs a man. She's getting her man to fill that role that a man is supposed to fill. So trust me, I see it all the time. I see dudes in their 30s and 40s still sitting here taking care of their mama because their mama couldn't settle down, or because their mama, unbeknownst to them, ran every single man, including their father, away. The only difference is there is a difference between someone who is a baby mama and a widow. If you are a widow, you are not a baby mama. And my heart goes out to those women whose husbands were taken from them either through medical accident, like medical reasons or accidents or such and such like that. A widow is not the same thing as a baby mama. You know, I'm just gonna let that be known right there. When we're sitting here talking about all these women with kids, with 9 times out of 10 talking about women, or at least for me, anytime I'm sitting here talking about women with kids, I'm talking about a woman that's out here having kids, ain't never been married, or she been married and she ran her husband off or ran her husband to the arms of another woman. You know, that's what I'm talking. I'm not talking about a woman whose husband passed away on her. I'm not talking about a woman whose husband died in an accident, or a freak accident, work accident, or traveling to and from work accident. I'm not talking about those. But if you were never married to the dude, there is one caveat. If you're sitting here living with a long-term boyfriend, y'all living together, that is not your husband, and he ends up dying, you are not a widow. You are a single mom. You are not just because your boyfriend died on you, that does not make you a widow. Widow means wife. You took that man's last name. That is a widow. Let's stop it. Let's stop this whole, one crazy thing I've been hearing. People who've been together for a long time. Oh yeah, that's my wife. Okay. When y'all get married? Ask them that. Like, oh, we ain't never get married because we don't believe in the institution of marriage. Huh? I the craziest video I saw this one video. It was an hour long, and I'm sitting here watching it, and this dude sat here about the institution of marriage is white supremacy. Like, what? How is the institution of marriage an institution between two people, a man and a woman? How is that white supremacy when even the Bible talks about marriages between a man and a woman? And he's like, well, because it excludes those of other yes, studio cat. Sorry, that's my cat wife right there. No, it excludes other people or other styles of relationship, like a man and another man, a woman and another woman, or a somebody who identify. No, trust me, don't like dudes like that or people who think like that. Oh, trust me, they are leading you down the wrong road. They are leading you down they on the highway to hell and they don't even know it because they think that they're so progressive, so inclusive, but yet now you got these people out here who think that they can marry themselves. I saw a video where a woman thought that she could marry a horse. Like, you crazy? Like, come on now. But all right, let's get to our second sponsor. I know this is kind of fast, but all right, our second sponsor goes out to if many of us struggle with credit at some point in our lives. I know I have. If you have a 400 credit score and want an increase, I have a connection that can legally erase negative things like repos, foreclosures, late payments, medical bills, student loans, evictions, and more. Just contact my friend Michael Stanley Jr., the Credit Savage, at 717-609-4829 and text the word credit. You will get amazing results. I know I am. Trust me, my credit score is big. Woo! Going up, baby. All right. So the reason why I'm doing ladies first is because women are out here talking about this 666, this six figures. It's always six figures, 6 feet. The 6 inches and six pack is interchanging because some women like husky dudes like myself. Women like dudes with dad bods. Women like burly men. Women, there's some women that my wife doesn't like six-pack dudes. She likes the fact that I'm a little bit more stockier. So my wife likes that. So hey, I like thick women. Hey, I got that. So, um, but but the women out here that are putting these characteristics and their standards out here for 6 feet, 6 inches, and whatever else, they're looking at superficial things because trust me, you can lose six figures easy, and these women are responding to their flesh. They're responding to the six figures is for their security. They want financial security. They want to have a man that can financially provide for them. To the degree, it may vary because there's some women that only get women because of their money. They're not sexually attracted to them at all, and there's women out here who will have kids as a way to secure a bag. But, six pack, 6 feet, 6 inches, that's all carnal stuff. The 6 feet goes to, oh, she wants a man that can protect her because for whatever reason, you got to be 6 feet to provide protection. Look, I'm 5'9", trust me, I can handle myself. Trust, there's a lot of dudes out here that are 6 feet who can't fight, who can't defend themselves. Trust me, like the big things come in small packages sometimes. I'm an average size. I'm not a big dude. I'm not a tall, towering man. But 6 feet, that to me, that is just some primal thinking to where you think that a dude who is 6 feet is more intimidating, even though he's probably cut like a he's probably like a little puppy dog. Like he probably swings like a wet noodle. Trust me, size doesn't mean anything. And especially let's go to the 6 inches. Trust me, size doesn't mean anything. I've heard horror stories of dudes who are well endowed who ain't got no stroke. They ain't moving, they ain't going nowhere. That's like these things are superficial because the issue is society has told these women that you need a man with money, but these women don't understand what comes along with that money. I me and my wife were talking about this that on Valentine's Day at Eddie V's because we're saying all these broke people. Oh my God. It's it's sad that people of a ratchet nature will go to places like Eddie V's, Mastro's, Fogo like nice higher end places and order off the appetizer menu and just get nothing but drinks because they can tell their girlfriends, oh, I've been there. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's my spot. But yet you can't order off the main menu, or you got to have a savings to go to these places. And it's sad because I saw this, and yes, I'm being very shady right now. Me and my wife saw these two women, all black women, or I shouldn't disrespect my black women like that. I should say these ratchet hood rats. There were two ratchet hood rats in there, neck all tatted up, arms all tatted up, and they had their miniature son husbands with them. They two boys. They had two boys, they sons with them. The one had fake hair, one had dreadlocks, but it was like hot rod red. They wearing unflattering clothes. And the crazy part was Eddie V's had a dress code policy and they allowed them in there. And don't get me wrong, Eddie V's is a nice restaurant. It had a mixed crowd in there. Live music, the food was good, stuff like that. We had people of all backgrounds. I'm pretty sure there's a couple people that can buy my high yellow ass in there. So, but here we got these two hood rats. And then there was another table of male hood rats. First of all, on Valentine's Day, I'm not hanging out with my boys on Valentine's Day. I'm not. And I swear, pants below they bottoms, showing they Fruit of the Looms, cut up jeans that I'm pretty sure they paid $1,000 for, J's on their feet, wearing knockoff Louis Vuitton jackets and all types of other stuff. It made me ashamed because as someone who is an African American male and an African American woman, and we're an African American couple, and we're seeing people of our demographic in there. Well, I don't want to say our demographic, but people who try to be akin to us in this place showing they ass, figuratively and literally. This chick got into an argument with her waiter in front of everybody. And I'm not saying she was embarrassing herself in front of white folks, because there's more than just white folks in there. There was black folks who had some sense in there, like my wife and I, and there was a nice, lovely young couple next to us. She was disturbing everyone's dinner, talking about, I want to see your manager. I want to see your manager. Because you ain't bring out the order that I had to go. You didn't bring it out. So I want to talk to your man. And the poor little waiter, he was like, okay, ma'am, I'll do whatever can I get another rose, please? It's sad that you had people of that hue, these two hood rats that somebody decided to impregnate there with their son husbands in the making, and these potential degenerates in the making, there in this nice, beautiful restaurant acting like you don't have any sense. Before, and she was standing up and talking about, I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to interrupt your dinner. I apologize, but I had to get a couple things right up in here. And these are the type of women that, and it's not just them, but those are the type of women that are out here chasing these dudes because they flossing or because they this or because they that. Because trust me, there's a lot of dudes out here like the Tinder swindler who fake like they got it, but they really don't. All because they got one of the sixes. Either they got over 6 feet or they got over 6 inches, and they trying to act like they live a six-figure life. And trust me, having a six-figure life, just because you got six figures don't mean that you got six figures. I'm just gonna say that right now. Because trust me, when I started making six figures, I didn't have six figures. I was too busy paying stuff off. I was too busy getting out of debt. So just yeah, I made six figures, but I wasn't living like I got six figures. Even now, I don't live like I make six figures. I live a regular life. I live a comfortable life. Because to me, that's securing a nest egg for me and my wife. Like just because you got six figures don't mean you got to blow it on frivolous things. It's crazy. So you got these women out here saying that they need a man with six figures, 6 feet, 6 inches, or six pack or whatever. And these are the same women that are going on Kevin Samuel show, going on Steve Harvey show, calling into these dating shows, talking about how they want a man. Kendra G, hey, her content, oh my goodness. But Kendra G does these things for singles only or something like that. I think that's what it's called. Where she has men and women calling, and these women are out here talking about they want these 666 packages because they made mistakes and now they ready to settle down. These women ain't ready to settle down because, and then a lot of times what they're looking for is they looking for stepdaddies for their children. They looking for a plug and play type of dude. These women are really looking for simps with money. They're looking for a dude that is successful enough to have money, good looking enough that they can take around, but simpish enough to where he will allow her to have access to all his stuff. And these women don't talk about marriage. Or if they do talk about marriage, they talk about what the man got to bring to the table and not what they bring to the table. Or if they do talk about what they bring to the table, it's superficial stuff that men can buy anyway. Talk about, well, I can cook. Okay, I can order out and I can cook myself. Like, next, oh, I can help him in his business. Okay. If he got to where he was and he has his business, he don't need you. He don't need you for his business. It's what else? And then Kevin Samuels, he had an episode recently where he had this woman on there, single mom too, in her 30s, talking about how she wants to date men that are in these six-figure ranges. And then Kevin pretty much broke it down to the fact that you just want to be a paid womb. That's what it is. You don't want to work, or you don't want to work enough to pay significant bills. So you want to hire a cleaning crew and a nanny. You're just a womb at this point. You're a high dollar womb. That's what a lot of these women out here want who are chasing after these 666 packages. They only care about them. They want to say, yeah, I want to have kids because they know some of these men want kids. Me, I want children, you know? So they're like, okay, and that's their ticket. That's what they think is their ticket. If they already got kids, they're like, I'll have kids with him. I'll give him a child. But you already out here got Tyrone, Antoine, and Pookie's baby. You out here got half nigga kids or full nigga kids. You out here just. But you think that you're gonna bring my child into this? So watching and then these simp dudes out here who are also a part of the demonic dating problem, because these simp dudes out here, or these flossing dudes, but they're simps, none the same, because they can't get a woman without finessing. They can't get a woman without flossing. They can't get a woman without peacocking. They out here wearing gold chains. They out here wearing fresh shoes. They out here, wearing designer clothes. But yet you live in the same apartment as this woman. You don't have anything of your own. Or you're over your head in payments in a car that you can't afford. These are the simp-minded type dudes where it's like, I'm doing this stuff to get a woman. Let me get tatted up because it's going to attract the woman. Let me get this car because it's going to attract the woman. Let me get these shoes, these clothes because I want to be seen. It's peacocking. It's a lot of dudes out here that claim to be alphas or claim to be, these type A type dudes who are really simps. They now, if you want to dress nice, dress nice. That's for you. Or if you want to dress nice because that's the type of environment that you're in, like Kevin Samuels, he's come from a corporate world. He dresses like he's in a corporate world. You got to dress a certain way if you want to be taken seriously in that world. But if you're just dressing nice when you go out, but then you a bum on your regular time, like, or you just dress out when you know that you're trying to get a woman, I should say, because I'm the type of dude, when me and my wife go out, I dress nice. Me and my regular, I'm a hoodie, sweatshirt, jeans type of dude. That's just me. I have a military background. That is me. If I'm going into work now that I've switched career paths, yeah, I'll dress up. But thankfully, the COVID, I'm working at home online. So I don't have to do all that. But I like dressing nice. I'm married. I don't have to dress nice for these women out here. You crazy? No, I dress nice for me. Driving a nice car. I drive a nice car because I want one. Not because I want to see, ooh, daddy, yeah, how you let me ride with you. No, no, like Cat Williams said, like, I got satin pillowcase. That's not for me. It's for bitches. It's for this. It's for that. I, that to me, that's like the simp is out of control. It is out of control. You got dudes out here thinking, if they, and all these dudes are trying to do, they want to get these nice things because they want to chase the women that are chasing the six figure, six pack, 6 feet. There's not really a lot of men out there that are that are the straight across the board 666s. There's just not. You got a lot of overweight rich dudes out there. You got a lot of older rich dudes out there. You got a lot of short rich dudes out there. So you got these dudes who are chasing these women. You got these dudes out here that are chasing these Instagram models. You got these dudes that will try to get in, that are trying to turn 304s into housewives. These are the type of men that are out here creating all this havoc. And so when you got one disingenuous person chasing after another disingenuous person, and these two disingenuous people get together, you have a cluster. Yeah, you're gonna have a bad day. You're gonna have uh you're gonna have an 18 to life cellmate, pretty much is what I'm calling them. 18 to life. Because you got so many people out here hooking up, having kids with people that they never intended on being with. You got these people hooking up, and getting into long-term relationships with people that they never want to marry. I was watching this show last night called Put a Ring on It. And one of the girls, and it's about these couples who have been together long term, their boyfriend, girlfriend, and they never either got engaged or they're not married. Ultimately, they're not married. And one of the girls, and it's being conducted by a counselor, a relationship counselor, and she got down to the bottom of the issue with one of the women on there. She says, "You're mad at yourself because you didn't walk away after he called off the wedding." There's a lot of women out there. There's a lot of people out there like that. You have a lot of people staying together because they're ashamed of getting out of a long-term situation, But let's go ahead and get down to the last sponsor. I'm trying to do better with the sponsorships. Um, if you suffer from acne and dark spots like I do, or you just want a deep clean or a wax, contact my friends over at New Skin Cosmetics, where you are guaranteed a certified esthetician and all natural products with no chemicals. Just text 202-507-9577 today. All right. So you got these women out here chasing these 666s. You got these dudes out here chasing these insta thoughts, and nobody's happy. Nobody, and it I sat back and I watched the dating arena. And what I noticed is things people have not become aware yet that the name of the dating game has changed. The dating game is not what it used to be. The dating environment is completely turned on its head. The dating ways of old, where you used to go out, wine and dine a chick, and or look nice, and have conversation. It's almost done away with the dodo, because you got social media, you got online dating and all types of other stuff. The And especially now that you have a lot of shows like Kevin Samuels, Kendra G, all these shows coming out on YouTube, and shout out to them, man. Hey, much respect. But the environment of dating has completely changed. The Especially, I was telling this to one of my female friends. The moment women got BBLs and it became public, oh, the name of the game has changed. No man will ever take you seriously, because you have a lot of women out here with body dysmorphia issues, or who are very insecure about how they look physically, and now are getting their butts done, they're getting their breasts done, they're getting their faces done. They're trying to look like these celebrities that these dudes be over here just self ejaculating over. They're trying to look like these female celebrities, because they want to attract the type of men that these female celebrities are getting. But what they don't understand is that's a whole completely different circle. That's a whole completely different world. If you're not in that world, good luck. You're not getting in. So these women are out here trying to finesse their way into being Future's next baby mama, being Nick Cannon's next future baby mama. But what they don't understand is a lot of these girls are in the modeling world. They're in this entertainment sphere. Unless and they think that they can get on OnlyFans and then live a normal life afterwards. These dudes out here thinking that they're gonna sit here and try to buy women, because ultimately that is what it is. You're buying women. You're buying a woman's time. They think that they can go out here, rent these cars. Trust me, I don't know how many dudes I've heard rent cars for a date. It's bruh. If you got to rent a car, trust me, either you're not ready or they're not the one for you. You trust me. I met my wife when I was killing bugs, and I started talking to her when I didn't even have a job. We started roughly dating. When I got into when I was killing bugs. I mean, hell, she was in college, so we grew together. It's You don't have to go far to find love. You don't have to go far to find real happiness. The only thing you got to do is be intentional. Be intentional. That's really it. And be honest with yourself and be humble. That's really all you got to do. It's not hard, you know? But you have these people out here with these imaginations, and they have these experiences, what I will call demons, these demonic addictions to something that's not real. The dudes out here want these insta thoughts. They want the women that look like an Instagram model with the big plump boobs, or the big plump butt, or the nice round butt. They want them to look, hair always done, face always done. These women don't look like this all the time. They don't. I'm sorry, you know. And what they don't realize is these women are also human beings. These women also got baggage. These women also got issues. These women also got daddy mommy issues. These women also got scars and all types of other stuff. And then they don't want what comes with that. These women out here, they want these dudes that are gonna sit here and take care of them, but they don't understand these dudes out here got issues. These dudes got mommy daddy issues. These dudes got traumas. These dudes got real things going on with them. They don't want that. They want the security. Men don't want that. They want the arm piece. And like I said, you get one arm piece to attract another arm piece. These women out here get this one 666 package type dude, or this dude pretending to be a 666 package, and then they think, oh, because I date men with money, I can only date men with money now, and you ain't got a pot to piss in. These dudes out here, oh, I got this one chick who's a weekend model, and I think that I can only date weekend models, or I can date real models. So we have, first of all, we got a lot of feminine energy in here. We got a lot of feminine energy, even on the men's side, because you see men out here acting like women. Because if the women are out here saying that, oh, well, I can only date a man with money, I'm only going to date a man with money. You got dudes out here saying, if I can only date a baddie, then I'm only going to date baddies. But you don't like the baddies. The baddies will cheat on you. The baddies will trade you in for another 666 package that has better qualities than you. Or if you fall on hard times, guess what she's going to do? She's going to kick you to the curb, player. So we got a lot of feminine energy. But now you see dudes trying to boss up and talk about, oh, well, I'm the king. I'm a king looking for his queen. Bruh, unless you marry her, she ain't no queen, dude. She ain't. A lot of us don't even know the words that we're saying. You got a lot of dudes out here worshiping women, you know, that don't even really like women. You got these dudes out here calling women just off the fact of them being women, queens and goddesses, and she ain't showed you nothing. So why are you idolizing this female? Why are you idolizing? My wife is a queen because we actually got stuff together. We've built stuff together. I am the king of my castle, but I don't walk around here talking about I'm a king. What's up, king? What's up, queen? No, I'm the king of Casa de Edmo. That is mine. I built this. My wife helps me manage this. We even got an inside joke in my household. I call my wife the manager. She calls me the CEO. That's our thing. Whenever I say, hey, send your complaints over to management, that's my wife. And I'm the CEO. I run this. I started this. My wife helps me manage and maintain it. So you out here, and trust me, my wife's not an Instagram model, but my wife is beautiful to me. My wife helps me in a lot of ways, but you got these people out here that are just lost in the sauce. You got these people out here looking for things that they really don't want. It's ridiculous. And what most men want is, once they come to some sort of realization, what most men want is cooperation. What most women want is protection and security. Start with that. Like, the women, drop this whole 666 package thing, because even when women sit here and say, "Oh, I want a dude that makes six figures," they also got caveats on what kind of six figures you make. Trust me, I know police officers that make six figures. They don't want them. I know trash dudes. I know a dude that started his own trash company, multi-millionaire. They don't want him, even though he's already married. But I got dudes out here who are plumbers, carpenters, architects, and not the sexy kind of architect. They build stuff. They don't want that. They don't want the dude. They don't want the blue collar six-figure dude. They look down on them. They want the CEO. They want the rapper. They want the athlete. They want the flashy six figures. They don't want the real six figure. Trust me, there's a lot of people out here making six figures that ain't making it in sexy ways. Trust me, I don't make my six figures in sexy ways. I work in IT. So it's like, I don't like, my six figures is not sexy six figures. But luckily, I met my wife before I started making six figures. My wife makes six figures. We're a six-figure couple. It's bruh, don't be. And also to men, like, if you, like I said in the Tinder swindler episode, if you go out on a date with a woman and a woman asks you what you do and it's the first date, run. Just say, you know what, I really appreciate our date. It's not what I'm looking for, and just roll out. Dudes got to be very intentional. They do. Dudes got to be really intentional out here, because there's a lot of women out here that can and will finesse you. you know, there, unfortunately, the space has become very toxic in the manosphere. And trust me, I'm not officially a part of the manosphere. I'm just a dude that talks about man things. If if you're out here looking for a wife, be intentional. Don't settle. Don't even waste your time on these chicks who think that they're queens, think that they're goddesses, think that they baddies. Because trust me, there's another woman out here that is just as good as, or if not better than her. Trust me, I got a standard. I don't date women with fake hair, fake eyes, fake eyelashes. That was my thing. I did not do it. I'll bang you out, and this was before I was into the word. I'll bang you out, but that's it. I'm not dealing with you. If I see a wig or weave, I'm not dealing with it. Luckily, and this is why I make fun of my wife, because my wife actually finessed me, because I thought she had locks when I first started dating her. Turns out they were like faux locks, but my wife has locks now that are hers. So, but one thing about my wife was my wife, outside of the first time I met her, my wife always wore her natural hair. My wife didn't really, when we started dating, she didn't really do the weaves and extensions and stuff like that. If you're dating a woman who always got her real hair covered by fake hair, run. If and that's just me, because men, we have blindly accepted the women's standards of you get what you get for too long. Women, you have blindly believed that the get what you get mentality, the fact that you can get a man to talk to you, you fooled yourselves. Just because a man will talk to you doesn't mean anything. I used to have a joke when I was single and dating and stuff like that. Was women would sit here and say, "Oh, well, do you find me sexy?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, but that's not saying much for me because I will dibble and dabble in almost anything. That's not saying anything to you. That's not saying any because for me to sleep, this is back in those days. For me to sleep with you wasn't much. It was okay, cool, bang, 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 go my own way. But now, and having a criteria for a wife, dudes, if you want a wife, you gotta have higher realistic standards. And when I say realistic, you can't sit here and demand what you don't have, what you can't provide, because Kevin Samuels talks about high value dudes. I'm not going to do that. I'm talking to regular, everyday people who have real problems. And not to say that high value people don't have real problems, but real everyday problems. People who are making about between 40 and six figures. People who got a car note or two, people who got houses, people who got kids. I'm talking about those type of dudes. If I'm not talking about the high value dudes because I'm not in that realm. I know a few, but I'm not there myself. I don't consider myself a high value dude. I just call myself, I'm highly valuable. Oh, well, no, that's still saying the same thing. But I'm just a regular guy. I don't flaunt, I don't floss. To me, you get what you get. To guys like that, the everyday gent, just be honest, be realistic. Now, just understand what the environment is. You know, if you don't have kids, don't date a woman with kids. Don't try to turn a 304 or a baby mama into a housewife. If she has kids and she's not, I would say this, don't date a woman with kids unless you don't have kids. I mean, unless you have kids. Because then I can see that working. Because ultimately, I'm the meet people where they are. You cannot if you're not in a specific realm, don't talk to people that are in a realm higher than yours. Don't, and that goes for women too. If you're not, to say that you gotta have a man that makes six figures because you make six figures, and trust me, the rule that I'm about to say to men does not apply to women because women, trust me, the higher you go, the worse it is for you. The higher you attain, the worse it is for you. If you get a house and then you demand a man with a house, why does a man have with a house have to deal with you? There's plenty of women out here that look better than you, that are younger than you, who don't have what you have, and will get wifed up a lot faster than you. But men, I'm telling you, don't date a woman with kids unless you don't have one. Unless you have them. I would say don't don't be so quick to settle down until you got yourself together. I agree with Kevin Samuels. You should, in your 20s, you should be focusing on you, your grind, your money, your career, your investments. Then once you're settled, you know, focus, then you can go out and look for a wife. But hey, trust me, I've been all around the spectrum. So I'm just saying what works for logically. If you're in college and you dating a girl in college and you're getting serious, get married to her. I mean, hell, there's nothing wrong with getting married to a woman that you're on a grind with. But what I will say is stop dating these and stop trying to date these Instagram models, and women, stop trying to date these 666 package type dudes because nobody's going to be happy in the end. Trust me, everybody has issues. What I will say as I close is be intentional. I'm going to talk about this next week, next Wednesday, because I'm going to start a new series for dating. What I will say is, and I'm trying to get this out right properly. Hmm. Be real, be realistic, be intentional, have some principles, but ultimately don't stay in the dating phase too long. When you stay in the dating phase too long, to me personally, it's just a waste of time. This is the advice that I'm giving the guys that I'm mentoring now. If you find a girl, especially if you want marriage, if you've already declared in your mind that you want to be a husband, you want to be a father, trust me, and have a rule in your mind: no fatherhood without husbandhood. If you want to be a husband, be intentional. Don't date a woman with intention. Let her know up front that you want to be married. That you are looking for a wife, and that and talk about some of the things that you find that you want your wife to have. Be realistic. Don't be superficial. Don't say, "I want my wife to have, what was that? 24, 34, 36 or whatever the measurements were." But be realistic. I want a wife. And but date other people in that time frame. Date other people. You are single until you're engaged. That's my rule. Date a woman for 6 months to a year. See her in all facets. If you see qualities in her to where that line up to what you want in a wife, and it doesn't have to be 100%. I would say 60-40. If it's 60-40, trust me. And trust me, in time, things will change. People grow, people evolve, people mature. Trust me. I've seen it in my wife has seen it in me. If date someone 6 months to a year, date other people, just be open about it. Just say, look, I'm looking for a wife. So trust me, I'm not only dating you. Date other people. Don't and once you found that person that can be your spouse, get a ring and get engaged. Trust me, because breaking up while you're engaged is the same way as breaking up when you're dating. The only thing that's different is when you get married, because now y'all got things together. And get engaged for like year, 2 years. I wouldn't be engaged longer than 3 years, but get engaged. Get engaged, and that way you and this woman are exclusive. You and this woman, you're meeting, each other's families, you're becoming intertwined. But also, when you get engaged to them after that year, I would prefer a year, but meet her family. Talk to her father if she has a man in her life. If she has a father, brother, uncles, talk to them. Ask them for permission. Don't sit here and wait for a woman to when she's ready. Ugh. And if she's saying that she's not ready, kick her ass to the curb. Get yourself another one. Because trust me, you're out here looking for a wife, and trust me, Bible says he who finds a wife, not a woman, not a girlfriend, not a side chick, not a female. He who finds a wife finds a good thing, or in some versions, finds favor with the Lord. So find yourself a wife, man. Like, don't sit here in these dating phases. But that goes the same thing for women. Women, don't be in these long-term relationships. If you're just dating, say one, if you want a husband, say you want a husband. Don't sit in this year, 2 year long relationship and you're sitting here, I wonder when he's gonna marry me. If you gotta make him marry you, he's not the man for you. Run, find yourself, date other men, be honest about it. Say, look, I'm dating you, I'm dating other people. Be honest, because trust me, when you're dating, you don't belong to anybody. You are single technically until you're married legally, but you're single until you're engaged. Engagement is a betrothal. You are betrothed to that person. Your family has already signed off on it. Like, stop staying in the dating phase too long. I would say after a year, if nothing is progressed after a year, peace. But at the same time, you're dating other people. Trust me, it can be done. So, Bernie, what do you got?
I am once again asking for your financial support.
Thank you, Bernie. We are asking for your financial support. So, if you guys can please give a shout out to our friends over at FTI, Credit Savage, New Skin, my brother Zoe over at the Bronze Serpent Media. But if you guys want to help us out, please go over to our Teespring stores, get yourself a nice The Edmo Show hoodie that are out now. Get yourself a nice, delicious. I promise you, it makes all your beverages taste better. Get yourself a nice Edmo Show mug, drink a coffee, Irish coffee, whatever you want in it. I'm a coffee drinker, so hey, put whatever you want in it. But if you are down to your lonely bottom crusty dollar, please. We also got PayPal if you want to donate however much is in your heart. But if you're down to your lonely bottom crusty dollar, please give us 5 stars, give us a like wherever you're getting this content. Please hit the notification bell so that way you can know whenever we go live. And yeah, share the show, like the show with everybody you know, hate, and or indifferent to. So until then, I will see you guys on Friday for the struggle. I promise you this time. Peace out.